Time is a strange thing. When you're young, it feels endless. Days stretch on like the world is on display just for you. But somewhere along the way, something shifts. The years stop strolling. They start sprinting. That's the mystery. Not that time moves, but that it seems to change its personality. So let's unravel why. Because the surprising part is this. Time isn't speeding up. We are. But that's not the whole story. There's a simple explanation people throw around, and honestly, it holds up surprisingly well. When you're 5, a single year is a massive slice of your lived experience. It's a full 20% of your life. No wonder every birthday felt like a major expansion pack. By the time you're an adult, a year is a tiny fraction of your story, barely enough to even register. Your brain is always comparing every new moment to every moment before it, and the proportions keep shifting. A year used to feel enormous because your story was short. The older you get, the longer the story, and the smaller each chapter feels. But proportion is only the first crack in the door. The interesting part is what's behind it. Here's where things get vivid. Your brain loves novelty. New experiences get recorded in sharp, bright detail, like it's saving the memory on whatever your brain equivalent of a 4K camera is. Childhood is built out of firsts. First school, first bike, first big screw up you never admitted to your parents. Everything is new, so the brain pays attention. Adulthood, on the other hand, well, it's a lot of reruns. You have your routine, your commute, your inbox, the same streets, the same Tuesday. When your brain recognizes a pattern, it compresses the footage and saves it in low resolution. It still happened. It just doesn't take up as much mental space. So, when you look back, huge stretches of time blur together, not because they were short, but because nothing stood out enough to anchor them. But novelty isn't the only culprit. There's a deeper kind of flattening happening. Routine is efficient, but it's also a thief. The more predictable your days become, the more your brain slips into autopilot. You do the whole day, meetings, tasks, errands, and somehow leave with almost no memory of the details. It's like your brain stamps the whole week with one label, same as last time. That's why your first week at a new job feels long, textured, and full of impressions, while month 6 evaporates somewhere between Monday and Friday. Novelty increases density. Routine creates compression. And adulthood is very, very good at compression. And here's where things get biological. When you're young, your internal world is fast. Heart rate, breathing, neural firing, everything runs a little hotter. More sensory signals hitting the brain in every second. Their internal clock is a noisy, bright machine. It stretches moments. As you age, that internal machinery settles down. Heart rate slows. Neural firing patterns smooth. The body becomes more efficient and less easily surprised. And then there's dopamine. Kids get a dopamine hit from basically everything. A cool rock, a cardboard box, a Tuesday. Adults need something a little more substantial. Dopamine helps stamp memories. So fewer dopamine peaks mean fewer memories that feel distinct, which means, again, more compression. But dopamine still isn't the final twist, because this whole story ultimately leads to one quiet culprit. Here's the strange truth. Time doesn't speed up. Memory slows down. In the moment, time feels normal. A day is a day. But when you look back, your brain writes the experience. It summarizes. It trims the edges. It leaves out the scenes that didn't stand out. You don't remember time. You remember moments. And anything that wasn't a moment gets compacted into a blur. This is why your 20s feel like a book with chapters, and your 40s feel like they were only a highlight reel. The clock on the wall hasn't changed. The storyteller in your head is just taking more shortcuts. But if memory is the editor, then maybe we can negotiate with it. So can we slow down time? The good news is yes, sort of. You can't slow down the physics, but you can slow down the perception. And perception is what we actually live inside. You can slow down time by breaking up patterns, by adding novelty back in, by doing things your brain actually thinks are worth paying attention to. Take a different route home. Try a new hobby. Travel somewhere new, even if it's only 10 minutes away. Actually look at the world instead of skimming it. Stop. Take a breath. Pay attention. Say to yourself, I want to remember this. Those small pauses, those intentional interjections, become memory markers. And memory markers stretch your sense of time. No, it's not time travel, but in a quiet, practical way, it's the closest thing we get. So yes, time does feel faster as we get older. Not because the universe is rushing us, but because we stop noticing it in the way we used to. Life gets familiar. Familiar becomes routine, and routine becomes a blur. But the moments we're awake for, the ones we choose to make meaningful, those slow everything down again. And if you can put a few more of those into your weeks, the years won't sprint by quite so fast. At least a little. If you enjoyed this, feel free to like and subscribe. It genuinely helps. Thanks for watching. Be kind to each other and take care.